Pain builds power. There's a lot of sayings that are like this that are very simple, but they're extremely powerful when you think about them because there's so many layers to it. When I was younger, I used to get into fights all the time. And not only did I get into fights a lot, I got beat up in those fights a lot. I would come home with black eyes and bloody noses, and my mom would be upset. My dad would be upset. They'd have to miss work to take me to the hospital. Sometimes they'd even have to miss work to watch over me for a couple days while I recovered from some of these beatings. I kept getting in fight after fight after fight. Well, eventually one day they had enough. My parents sat me down and they said, "Listen, we're not going to do it anymore. If you get in a fight, if you come home with another black eye or another bloody nose, we're not going to take time off work to help you. You're going to have to deal with it yourself." They left me with two choices. They said, "You can either stay home alone or you can go stay with your other family members. With your aunt, your uncle, but you're going to have to deal with it on your own." So I just chose to go stay with my aunt and uncle, and stayed there by myself for probably close to 2 weeks, recovering from the last beating that I had gotten in before my parents gave me this ultimatum. But during that 2 weeks, something really interesting happened. I thought a lot. I thought about what I was doing with my life. I thought about why I was getting into so many fights. I remember vividly sitting on the couch thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I getting into all these fights? And there was one moment where I just realized I wasn't being true to myself. It sounds weird to say that I was like 13 years old, but it's true. There was a part of me that wanted to be a nerd, and there was a part of me that wanted to be cool, and I was trying too hard to be cool. By trying too hard to be cool, I would pick fights with people. I would try to impress people that didn't even matter to me. So from that point on, I stopped caring what other people thought about me, and things changed drastically. Not only did I stop getting in fights, but I actually started getting pretty good grades. I started focusing on what I wanted to focus on, which was my family, which was school, which was bettering myself. And I credit a lot of my success in life to the pain that I experienced. Because if my parents didn't give me that pain, if I didn't experience that pain, I wouldn't have been able to grow and change in the way that I did. And a lot of the pain that I've experienced in life has helped me grow into the person that I am today. Now, I want you to think about a time in your life where you went through some sort of pain, whether it was physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain. And I want you to think about how that pain made you stronger, how it built you, how it forced you to grow. You might not be able to think of an example right now, but I promise you, if you really sit down and you really think about it, you will be able to come up with something. And I want you to write that down. I want you to write down a time where pain built you, a time where going through something difficult made you stronger. Most people don't realize how much their pain has helped them. Most people don't realize that their pain is actually a superpower. When you go through pain, when you go through difficult times, you build resilience. You become more adaptable. The next time something difficult happens to you, you'll be able to handle it better because you've gone through it before. Most people don't realize this. They see the negative side of things. They look at the pain and they see the hurt, and they do, and see how that pain is building them into a stronger, more resilient person. The first step to truly understanding and internalizing this concept of pain-building power is to start keeping a pain journal. Every time you go through something difficult, every time you face a challenge, write it down in a journal. Write down exactly what happened, how it made you feel, and then write down how that situation ended up helping you grow. Writing things down helps us process our thoughts better. It allows us to organize the way that we think. I want you to keep this pain journal for 1 week. At the end of the week, I guarantee you'll have a different perspective on the events that occurred during that week, because you'll be able to see the big picture. You'll be able to look back at everything that happened to you during that week, and you'll be able to see how each event helped you grow, even the small things, even the little things that may seem insignificant. Write them down and process them. The second thing I want you to do is to talk to other people. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. Ask them, hey, can you share with me a time where pain built you? Can you share with me a time where going through something difficult actually ended up helping you in the long run? As you listen to your friends, as you listen to your family members share their stories, I want you to be empathetic. Put yourself in their shoes. Imagine yourself going through what they went through. That will help you understand that pain is not always a bad thing. Pain sometimes is necessary. And the people that you love care about you, so much so that they'll go through pain for you. They'll go through difficult situations for you. And you need to be willing to do the same for them. You need to be willing to put yourself in pain, put yourself in difficult situations for the people that you love. The third thing I want you to do is to read books on the topic. There are tons of books out there that discuss the benefits of suffering, the benefits of pain, the benefits of going through difficult situations. I recommend looking up a book called Man's Search for Meaning. This book was written by a man named Viktor Frankl. He went through unimaginable circumstances during World War II. He spent years in a concentration camp, and he witnessed firsthand the horrors of war, the horrors of pain, of suffering, of loss. Yet, in this book, he discusses how he found meaning in his pain. He found a reason to push forward every single day. And in the book, he talks about how you should find meaning in your pain no matter what you go through. So I highly recommend reading that book. And the fourth thing I want you to do is to meditate on this idea. I want you to meditate on the idea that pain builds power. Think about all the different ways that pain has helped you grow, has helped you become stronger, has helped you become more resilient. Think about the fact that pain is not always a bad thing. Pain sometimes is necessary. You need to embrace the pain. You need to embrace the difficult times in your life because they're building you. They're making you stronger. And the stronger you are today because of the pain that you've gone through in the past, the stronger you will be tomorrow. There is so much emphasis placed on avoiding pain, on avoiding difficult times, on avoiding hard work. But that's the wrong way to approach life. You need to be willing to go through pain. You need to be willing to go through difficult times because that's where growth is. That's where power is built. You are not weak if you've gone through pain in the past. In fact, quite the opposite. You are strong, you are resilient, you are powerful, and you have the ability to overcome any obstacle that comes your way. Don't ever forget that. And when you feel like giving up, when you feel like quitting, when you feel like you just can't go through another second of the pain, suffering, struggling that you're experiencing right now, I want you to remember this video. I want you to think about the things that we discussed in this video. And most importantly, I want you to know that I believe in you. I know that you can make it through whatever you're going through right now. You're stronger than you think.